It's Conor here in the sunny Algarve, south of Portugal. 6 moments of power. Cialdini, in his book Influence, talks about 6 moments where if you just change the phrase, change the way you ask a question, you can multiply by 3 to 10 times the likelihood that you get a yes from the person that you're making the request. And the first is social proof. Sometimes, rather than explaining more about the offer, it's best to let the other person know that many other people have already decided on this. In marketing, one of the best things a company can say is we are the market leader in this product. When you're the market leader, it means social proof. All the other customers, all the other people like us have decided for you. So it makes it that I have to think about deciding why I don't buy your product. So social proof. If many people have already taken a decision, if many people have already supported you, that's a more powerful call to action than letting someone know of the merits of the product. Second, scarcity. Things that are scarce have an inherent greater value to us. If you go into the cheap jewelry shop, it's packed, cases loaded high with gold and silver. If you go into an expensive jewelry shop, how many jewels do you typically see? Often there can just be one. And they're playing with this sense of scarcity. So if your offer has in any way a time scarcity or a quantity scarcity, letting someone know of the scarcity raises the likelihood that they will say yes to your request. Third is authority. We say yes to figures of authority even when they don't have authority for what we're talking about. Rafa Nadal is in the advertisements for the Kia car. Now, Rafa Nadal is good at tennis. He doesn't have any particular expertise in choosing cars, but yet his authority as a tennis player covers many, many different things. This is why celebrity endorsements are so often used. That we have a tendency to give to sources of authority, credibility in areas broader than their basic credibility. So we'll give a sports person credibility in choosing mortgages, in choosing cars, in choosing insurance, in choosing lawyers. And somehow this just works. So if you have someone important, someone famous, someone who's a celebrity who has already moved in the direction you want, letting the world know about this does increase their likelihood of saying yes. Fourth is liking. We move more for people that we like. And there's a couple of things you can do to get people to like you before you make a request. One is find something in common. If you come into a room and you're trying to influence somebody, what can you find in common? What hobby do you have in common? What challenge do you have in common? Any people you have in common? So if there's something that you have in common. The second is, where can you help them, or where can you ask for help from them? So if there's a small way that you can help each other before asking for the bigger request, that can increase your liking. Fifth is commitment and consistency. We are much more likely to keep going in a direction that we've already gone than to start a new direction. So if you can frame your argument in terms of this is the next step on a journey you've already begun, this is a much more compelling way of getting someone to move to action. So find ways of framing that past actions by this person, this is the next logical step. The sixth is reciprocity. And reciprocity is what many sociologists would view that allows human beings to group together a 7 billion community. Because reciprocity is what really has allowed humanity to prosper. Reciprocity is we give back to others what we receive from them. So when I give you a gift, you want to give gift back to me. When you don't have food and I have food and I give it to you, when the conditions are exchanged, you'll give back to me. And reciprocity works in almost every realm of human endeavor, in our families, in teams, in groups of friends. But it breaks down in one important area, in the world of work. And it breaks down in the world of work because we're not clear in work, what is a gift and what is someone's job? And if I ask you for something while we're at work and you give it to me, my brain may assume that it was part of your job to provide that to me. And what we all need to learn at work in order to be able to give and use this law of reciprocity, because if we learn to use the law of reciprocity, you can give and give and give, because each time you give resources away, you're not giving them away. You're investing in a network of people that when they have resources and you need them, they are seeking to give them back. But this requires that you label well. And Cialdini in his book says, when you hear thank you, when you've gone out of your way to give a specific help to somebody, and in the work context they say, hey, Conor, thank you for doing that work for me. Instead of saying, hey, no worries, or that was nothing, find your own words of, I know you would have done the same for me. So if my friend Florian were to ask me, hey Conor, can you send me a couple of slides? I've got a presentation to Rotary next week. I do the work, put them together, I send them on. When I pick up the phone, I say, have you received them? You say, thank you. Hey Conor, I know you'd have done the same for me. Just labels that it was. Now when Florian, I asked my friend Florian for some help. So if my friend Florian asked me for some help, he's got a presentation to give to Rotary, needs something from me, makes a request, I do the work, and I know I've done it specifically for him, and I know it's above and beyond what I would normally do. When he calls to say thank you, instead of saying, hey Florian, no worries, just saying, hey Florian, I know you would have done the same for me. Just in a nice way lets him know that I chose to give a gift. I chose specifically for him because of who he is and what he means to me. So it's also rewarding for him, but it also labels that this was above the normal call of duty, above what I would normally give to anyone else. So these are the 6 moments of power, as Cialdini talks about in his book, Influence. I hope as you look at your requests, your proposals, you think about these 6 ways of framing and maybe use them when you notice that you have scarcity, social proof, authority, liking, consistency, commitment, or reciprocity available when you're making a request for something that's important to you. Have a great week. So thank you for your comments, subscribes, your sharing of the videos on this channel. Always great to feel that my voice is not just speaking in the wind, but people are listening. All the best from Portugal, here in the Algarve in the south of Portugal.